Hello everybody, welcome to this instruction video. In this video I'd like to show you how to make the bubbling brook mandalas. There's the maxi version, which is the large one here, and also the mini version, which is a smaller version of the large one. In this video I'll be showing you how to make the large one, and towards the end of the video I'll show you just what you need to do to make the small version, because it's simply a part of the larger one. But first of all, let's just see what materials you need to make these two mandalas. What do you need to make these mandalas? You need 4 colors of cotton yarn. I'm using Scheepjes Catona yarn, and you need 2 mandala rings. The colors that I'm using for my original sample are Petal Peach, Rich Coral, Tropic and Light Navy. So these are the 4 colors that are in my original kit, and also together with that 2 size mandala rings, a 15 centimeter ring, this is to make the small mandala, and 25 centimeter ring to make the large one, so 6 inches and 10 inches, whichever you're used to using. Now, in addition to the rings and the yarn, you of course also need a crochet hook. I'm using a 3mm crochet hook. The yarn together with the rings is available as a kit in my shop, where you can buy everything all together and you can make your own mandalas. But of course you're also welcome to choose your own colors. Let's get started with making the mandalas. So in this video I'll show you how to make the large maxi bubbling brook mandala, but I will not be using these original color placements that I have on the pattern. Instead, I've been using random colors of yarn from my stash to actually make this video. So the version that I'm making in the video is this version here. And for this version, exactly which color goes where, that was just purely random. Also, which colors I'm using is actually in the video description. So if you want to know which colors they are, just open the description and you'll find that. But so this is just random. The version that is actually part of the pattern is this version here. So let's get started with making first the maxi version, and then towards the end of the video I'll just tell you how to make the mini version also. Round 1, I'm going to make a slip knot, put this on my hook. I'm going to start with a chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to come to the first chain and close in there with a slip stitch to form a ring. And there we go. And if you open up the ring, you see that little hole there, we're going to work into that. First we do a chain 4. This counts as a double as a treble. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. That counts as a treble. Now we need to make 15 more trebles. So yarn over twice, insert into the gap, and then it's 1, 2, 3 times taking off. That's the first treble. You need 14 more, so yarn over twice, into that gap, 1, 2, 3. So now I've done 2 trebles. Going to make a small jump in the video because you need quite a few more. And there we go. So I'm going to continue like this until I've done 15, plus the chain 4 at the beginning will give you 16. So go all the way around, and then I'll just show you the invisible join at the end. I've worked 15 trebles and that chain 4 at the beginning there, so that's 16 in total. What I'm going to do now is just cut my yarn and then open up this loop and thread your yarn tail on a needle. And I'll show you the invisible join. Oh, I just split my yarn ever so slightly. And there we go. Now to do the invisible join, see, here's the chain 4, and then here's the first treble. insert your needle into that treble. So this is the second stitch because the chain 4 counts as your first stitch. So into the second stitch, insert your needle, and you can just leave this yarn tail like that for the moment. We'll fashion it in a moment. And now come to the last stitch worked, and that's here the last treble you worked. Insert your needle through the top of the stitch a bit to the back, like through the loops here to the back. And maybe because it's such a long stitch, also just grab a loop right there at the bottom and pull through. You've now got these 2 threads here, and you can see how, and these 2 threads, they're actually going to make your stitch. Now pull your work, and that will bring these 2 stitches closer together, and pull this tight and just fashion it a little bit until all these stitches here in a row, until they all look the same. You can see that you've now made a stitch exactly above the chain 4, and that's exactly what you want, and everything looks the same. At this point you can work away this yarn tail because it's on your needle anyway. Your work is ever so slightly cupped, don't worry about this. If you do a little bit more, you see, okay, we'll want to be flat, but don't worry about this. Now you're ready for round 2. Round 2, I have a new color yarn on my hook. For this round you're going to work a back post single crochet on every stitch. Doesn't matter where you start. I'm just going to choose this position. Then come from the back around the post to the other side. Grab your yarn, bring it all back to your starting position, and complete the single. This you're going to do on every stitch. And you'll see there, you see these little stripes there where you're going around the post. So the next one, and that's a back post. And then the next one, and this way you're going to work a back post single on every stitch all the way around. So just continue like this, working that back post, and when you get to the beginning I'll just show you how to close on that first stitch. So you're really going around the post, and that'll give this nice little edge here. So I'm all the way around, work the back post single around every stitch, and also that chain 3 that you have here, and mine is there, just also that gets a back post. Now I'm all the way around, and then here's the first stitch, and just next, there's the slip knot, just next to it, insert your hook, and then close with a slip stitch. And leave your yarn attached for round 3. Round 3. I'm going to start with a chain 3. This counts as your first double. In the same stitch, so where you've made that slip stitch, also going to do another double. So yarn over, so here in that same position, work a double. So I've basically got 2 stitches in there, the chain 3 double and the regular double. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to skip a stitch, so this is the one you're going to skip, and then come to the next stitch and work 2 doubles in there. Skip this stitch, come here, and then 2 doubles. 1, and 2. This you're going to repeat all the way around. So that means chain 3, then skipping 1 stitch, and in the next stitch work 2 doubles. 1, 2. That was the repeat twice. I'm going to show you once more, and then I'll make a jump in the video. So a chain 3, yarn over to skip a stitch, and then go 1 and 2 double crochets. Repeat this a few more times and then I'll just show you the closing when I'm here. Almost all the way around. Just work 2 doubles in that stitch. I've got 1 stitch left and then I'm back to the beginning. Means I need to do chain 3, 2, 3, and now of course I don't work these two stitches because I've already done that. Instead, come to the chain 3. So here's the top of the chain 3. Insert in there and close with a slip stitch. There you go. At this point you can cut your yarn and fasten off. Round 4. So this is what your work looks like. Going to start in any position, doesn't matter where. What we're going to do is I'm going to work into the stitches here that we skipped on the previous row. We're going to work in those stitches there. And we're going to do that by working in front of the chain spacer, so that's important. So I've got a new color yarn in my hook. I'm going to start with a standing popcorn. And that means we're going to start with a standing double. So yarn over and hold on to that. Then in any skipped stitch, insert your hook. And so be sure to remain in front of the chain space. So really fold that chain space to the back, that you don't accidentally work over it or into it or anything. That's the first double. Now we need 4 more because you need 5 doubles for the popcorn. So that's in the same stitch. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5 doubles in total. Open up this loop, come to that first stitch and insert your needle in there, your hook I should say. Pick up your working yarn, pull tight. Now we're going to pull this loop through that first stitch. There we go. And then chain 1 just to close. So that was the first standing popcorn. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 chains. And then skip these stitches here in the middle and come to the next skipped stitch and work a popcorn in there. So that means in this skipped stitch, going to work 5 doubles, and in the process, of course, make sure to stay well away from that chain space there to the back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, open up the loop, oh sorry, not 4, I need 5 doubles, 5 doubles, open up the loop. I always like to just pop it on my finger because then I know nothing's going to happen to it. So 5 doubles, opening up, then come back to the first stitch, there, that first stitch, insert your hook. Pick up your working yarn again, pull that loop tight and pull through. Chain 1 to complete the popcorn. And this is the repeat. You're going to do that all the way around. So a chain 4 and a popcorn in the next skip stitch. So that means you're going to work a popcorn in this stitch. And then in that one, and that one, and there, everywhere, all the way around. Here, and then you're going to do a chain 4 and close to the popcorn again. I'll show you the closing though. But so go all the way around, and you'll notice that this it's not connected to your work here at the back, and that's correct. So stay like this, go all the way around, chain 4 popcorn, chain 4 popcorn, and remember there's also a chain 1 that's part of the popcorn. So technically you're going to have like 5 chains after one another, but the first chain belongs to the popcorn, and then a chain 4 for the for the chain space. So chain 4 popcorn, chain 4 popcorn all the way round. I've just done the last popcorn. Actually, I still need to do the chain 1 on the popcorn. Now I've done the last popcorn. And now chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then come to the first popcorn. And then just find that first stitch. It's just next to the slip knot. There's the slip knot. So it's just next to it. Insert your hook. And then close there. On there with a slip stitch. If it's a little messy, it doesn't matter, because in the next round we're going to be pinching this popcorn together anyway. At this point you can cut your yarn and fasten off. Round 5, got the same color yarn on my hook as we used for rounds 2 and 3. So this color here, that's kind of this background color on the popcorn, so it's the same color yarn. What we're going to do is going to work into the doubles from round 3, I believe this were, and these chains here, we're going to push them to the back and then pull these stitches forward. So we're going to be working into these stitches here, and then make sure that chain space between the popcorns, that's to the back of our work. So we're going to kind of have to dig out these stitches a little bit. I'm going to start with a standing half double. So yarn over, hold on to the loop, and then you've got these, anyway where you've got these 2 doubles between the popcorn, just take the first of those 2. Insert your hook into that first stitch. And like I said, make sure that this chain space here is to the back. And then we start with a standing half double. In the same stitch, work 2 more half doubles. So that's 1 and 2. So now I've got 3 half doubles in the one stitch. Come to the next stitch, that stitch there, this one, work 2 half doubles in there. 1 and 2. And all the time you see here's the chain space to the back, so you're really working in front of it, and this chain space will also stay there. We're not going to do anything with it, but it does need to be to the back of your work so that you don't see it. We're now going to come to the popcorn, and we're going to work a post stitch around the popcorn, so a front post half double. So yarn over, and around the popcorn basically just means scooping it like this. So just like that, working a front post half double around the popcorn. So you can see how you're kind of pinching that popcorn together, and that's what I said, if it doesn't matter if it's a little messy, we're going to make it neat, so that's how we're doing this. We now move on to the next set of 2 half doubles here, and again just dig them out a little bit. There, just dig them out and push that chain space to the back. And now we're going to work in that first one, and that first one gets 3 half doubles. That's the first stitch. That's 1 and 2, and here is 3, and then come to the second stitch and work 2 in there. So 1 and 2, and these 2 are of course the same as those 2. You can see how this is this is your full repeat. So it's 2 half doubles in the stitch, the front post half double around the popcorn, and then 3 in the stitch after the popcorn. So this is your repeat. Repeat this all the way around. So I mean, next up, here is the front post half double around the popcorn, and then digging out your next set of stitches here, digging them out, so make sure your chain space is to the back. That's in that first stitch, so there in the first one you work 3 half doubles, so that's 1, 2, 3, and then in the second one you work 2. So now I've done another full repeat with you. Continue this, go all the way around. You can see how the popcorn now lays nicely on the background here. That's exactly what we want. So continue like this all the way around, and when you're here I'll just show you how to close on the first stitch. Alright, so I'm all the way around and I've just worked that back post half double, a front post half double around the popcorn there. Now we're back at the beginning and close on the first stitch. So this is the half double, and closing on a standing half double can be difficult. So because you see there's the slip knot, and then just next to it there's the stitch there, but this kind of tends to close in on itself, so really try to get into that stitch properly. You might have to help these little loops here to get into that stitch there. It's really important that you get into this stitch next to the slip knot and not into that one, because then you're going to lose a stitch and then you'll have dropped a stitch. So really make sure you're there in that standing stitch. And now we close here with a slip stitch. And there we go. Leave your yarn attached for the next round. Round 6, so continuing with the same color. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. This counts as your first stitch, your first double. Now on the next 4 stitches make a double. So this is the stitch we're currently in there, so we're going to come to the next one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've got 5 doubles now in total, the first plus these 4. Your next stitch should be the front post half double that we made around the popcorn. In that stitch work 2 doubles. 1, 2. Over the next 5 stitches work a double on each. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 double. Then the next stitch should again be a front post half double, and in that stitch work 2 doubles. 1, 2, and this is of course the same position as there. So here you work 2 and there you work 2 doubles as well. So 2 doubles when you get to the front post stitch, and then in between 5. So it's 5 doubles and then 2, 5 and 2, 5 and 2. You're going to go all the way around, and here after you work, you're going to work 5 doubles, and then in that last stitch, here this front post half double will get 2, and at that point you can close over here with an invisible join, and it's the same way as you did here for round 1. So covering the chain 3 in this case, through the second stitch complete that invisible join. So I won't show that again, but it's because it's the same way as round 1. So continue with this rhythm and close with an invisible join. Round 7, new color yarn on my hook. we're going to start in the first double. So you've got here these groups of 2 doubles. You've got them at regular intervals. These 2 doubles that are worked into the front post half double. Those 2, I'm going to take the first one. I'm going to start with a back post single crochet. And of course the first one is going to be a standing one. So anywhere we've got those 2 doubles worked into one stitch, take the first one of the 2, and then coming from the back around the post, grabbing your yarn, complete a back post single crochet. Then around the next stitch, also a back post single. And repeat this all the way around. So working a back post single on every stitch. And this will give you again a nice little edge as these stitches roll forward. So a back post single on every stitch all the way around, and when you've worked the last one, close on the first stitch, so they're on that first standing stitch with a slip stitch, and this is exactly the same as we've done before. So back post single on every stitch, and then close on the first stitch with a slip stitch and leave your yarn attached. Round 8, we're going to continue with the same color. The first thing we do is we're going to just slip stitch to the next stitch, and that's here. So just slip stitch to the next stitch. Now I'm going to start with a chain 3. 1, 2, 3. This counts as your first double. Going to start the repeat. A repeat is 2 doubles in the next stitch. So that's 1 and 2. So 2 doubles in that stitch. Then chain 2. 1, 2. Skip 1 stitch, so the next stitch, and then come to the stitch after and work a double. And that is the first of 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. Again, chain 2, 1, 2. Skipping 1 stitch, come to the next stitch and work a double. This is your full repeat, so starting there at the 2 doubles right up to here, and this last double we just worked is actually the same stitch as the chain 3 we started with. So you're going to repeat this all the way round. So I'll just start the next repeat with you. So that means in the next stitch work 2 doubles, 1, 2, so 2 doubles in that stitch. Then it's chain 2, skip 1 stitch, and then work 3 doubles. So 1, 2, 3. And then these 3 are of course the same as those 3. So continue all the way around. So now it's again chain 2, skip a stitch and work 1 double. And then the next stitch would of course have 2 doubles as the start of the following repeat. So go all the way around, repeating this part here, repeating that part. And when you get right to the beginning, you're going to work your last double in the stitch just before the slip stitch. Remember, there's a slip stitch join, and then we moved with the slip stitch one up, but just before the join you're going to finish here. This will be your last double. Then a chain 2, you're going to work a chain 2 and then close here on the top of the chain 3 with a slip stitch, and then you can also fasten off. Round 9, new color yarn on my hook. And this round is very similar to the round that we've made before, this popcorn round. We're going to start with a standing popcorn and any one of the missed stitches here from 2 rows down. Doesn't matter where you start. I'm going to start on this skipped stitch here with a standing popcorn. And again, when you work into that stitch, be sure to let this chain 2 space here to the back, that you don't work over that it really falls to the back. So in this first stitch, you're going to start with a standing double crochet. That's of course to start the popcorn. So that's 1 double. I'm going to do 5 of them. 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 doubles, and you see how I've kept this chain space here that you don't work over it. Open up the loop, come to the first stitch worked, and insert your hook there. Pick up the loop, pull tight, and now pull the first loop through the pull your working loop through the first stitch. That's what I mean to say. And a chain 1 to close the popcorn. Now we do a chain 5, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means there are 6 chains here after one another, but the first chain belongs to the popcorn, and then you have a chain 5 space. Now skipping all the doubles, come to your next stitch here that's empty on round 7, and in that stitch work another popcorn. So again, make sure that chain 2 space to the back, that you miss that. And this is the first double of 5. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then again close the popcorn, come to the first stitch, pick up the loop again, pull through, chain 1. Now work 2 popcorns and chain 5 in between. This you're going to repeat all the way around. So now it's again chain 5, then a popcorn, chain 5 and a popcorn every time in this stitch that you have open on round 7. Remember that there are 6 chains next to one another. The first chain belongs to the popcorn, and then chain 5 from the space. When you're all the way around, you're going to have your last popcorn here in this stitch. There you're going to have your last popcorn. Always remember to keep the chains 2 space to the back, that you don't work over that. Then you'll finish with the chain 5 and then close here on the first popcorn with the slip stitch. So this is very similar to this first popcorn round. And then you can also cut your yarn. Round 10, got the same color yarn on my hook as we used for round 8, so this pinky color. And we're going to start in any of these groups of 3 doubles. Now it doesn't matter which one you take, it really doesn't, because we're going to do the same on all of them. But what is important is that you work in front of the stitch, the chain spaces here, so that you pull those to the back, and that you then work into these doubles here, so that these chain spaces really fall to the back of your work. So actually just the same as we've did with those chain spaces there. Now I'm going to start the first one off with a standing half double. So just yarn over and hold on to that. And then I'm just going to grab these group of 3 here. In the first one, work a half double, and there. So it's a standing half double. In the second one, that's the one in the middle, gets 2 half doubles. It's 1, 2, and then the third one here gets 1 half double. So it's 1, 2, 1. All this time the chain space here is to the back, and you've been sure to miss that so that you don't work over it. Now a front post half double around the popcorn. So yarn over. Basically it just means scooping the popcorn, kind of to just pinch it together. And then onto the next group of 3 stitches. Again, pull them forward so that your chain space is to the back. The first one gets 1 half double, the second one gets 2, so that's 1 and 2, and then the third one gets 1. There we go. And then of course a front post half double around the popcorn. There. Repeat this all the way round, and after your last front post half double around this popcorn, close to the first standing stitch with a slip stitch and leave your yarn attached. Round 11, we're going to continue with the same colors. You're currently in that first stitch there, the slip stitch. Chain 3. This counts as your first double. Then a double in the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3. There we go. Your next stitch, which should be a front post stitch around the popcorn, gets 2 doubles. 1 and 2. We're now going to work a double in the next 9 stitches. So we don't work an increase above every popcorn, but above every second popcorn. So a double in the next 9 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Here number 5 falls in the front post half double. And then 6, 7, 8, and 9. There we go. That's the full repeat. So starting at the 2 doubles in 1 stitch and then 9 doubles. Repeat this all the way around. So that means the next stitch, which is a front post half double in the popcorn, gets 2 doubles. 1, 2, and now you'd work 9 doubles again. So above every second popcorn, that's where an increase is. Go all the way around, and you'll of course work 2 doubles here, and then it'll just be 1 on this on top of this last popcorn, and then close on this first over the first stitch, I should actually say, with an invisible join. So you can cut, fasten off, and then do an invisible join there. And then I'll see you for round 12. Round 12, new color yarn. We're going to start, if you have here these 2 doubles, that are worked into the front post half double, these 2, you have them at several intervals. Start in the second of these 2 with a back post single, and of course the first one is a standing back post single. So you've got these 2, take the second one and work a back post single around that stitch, and then continue and work a back post single around every stitch, and then go all the way around. A lot of what we're doing now is very similar to what we've done before, just more repeats or more popcorns. Back post single on every stitch, and here when you get all the way around, close on that first stitch with a slip stitch. Round 13, we continue with the same color. Currently in this first single crochet with the slip stitch, Just going to move to the next stitch with a slip stitch. And there we go. First double is a chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. That's the first double. Then the repeat. In the next stitch we work 2 doubles. 1 and 2. 2 doubles in the next stitch. And then 1 double in the next 2 stitches. So that's 1 and 2. So you've got 5 doubles here, chain 3, that's a double, then 2 doubles in 1 stitch and 1, 1. So 5 altogether. Chain 2, 1, 2, skip the next stitch, so that's this one, and then work 5 doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 2 again. Skip 1 stitch and work a double. And this double is the same here as the chain 3. So this is the same as the first stitch. So from these two, this is the repeat. You have to repeat this all the way round. So if you start the next repeat, in the next stitch 2 doubles. 1, 2. And then of course 1 double and 1 double. So this is now the same as that. So now you would do chain 2, skip a stitch, and then 5 doubles. So repeat this all the way around. So in essence, this bit here, repeat this all the way around. And when you're finished here, you're going to work your last double in there. Then a chain 2, skipping this last stitch, join on the first stitch this chain 3 with a slip stitch, so in there, and then you can also fasten off. Round 14, a new color yarn on my hook, and in this round we're going to work popcorns here in the skipped stitches and staying in front of the chain 2 spaces we have. So we start with a standing popcorn. You can start on any skipped stitch you have. Doesn't matter which one. I'm going to take this one and start there with a standing popcorn. So we work the first double, and of course make sure that you stay in front of the chain 2 space there, and then work the first double. That's 1, and now we need 4 more. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open up, come to the first stitch, close, and pull through. Chain 1 to close the popcorn. To go to the next popcorn, chain 6. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then skipping all these doubles, come to the next skipped stitch and work a popcorn in there. So again, into that stitch, be sure that you stay in front of the chain space, or really fold it to the back. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the last one. 5. Open up and come back to the first stitch and close, and then chain 1 to close the popcorn. Repeat this all the way around. So now another chain 6 and a popcorn, chain 6 and a popcorn all the way around, and after your last popcorn here, chain 6 and then close to the first popcorn and fasten off. Round 15, I have the same color yarn on my hook as I had for rounds 12 and 13, so this brown color here. In this round, very similar as before, make sure to pull these doubles through the chain space so that you work in front of the chain space, so like this. Start on any group of 5, we're going to do the same on all of them, so it doesn't matter which one you take. And the first stitch gets a standing half double, so yarn over, hold on to that loop, and then the first stitch gets a standing half double. The next stitch also 1 half double. The next stitch, which is the center stitch, gets 2 half doubles. That's 1, 2, and then you have 2 stitches left, 1 half double on each of those. 1 and 2. Then the popcorn gets again a front post half double, just like before. All the popcorns have had a front post half double. And now you're on to the next group of 5, where you repeat the same. So it's 1 half double, 1, 2 in the middle, 1, and then of course also a second one, and then on the last 2, 1 and 1. And now you're at the popcorn, which gets a front post half double. And that's it. Repeat all the way around, so you can see how this is very similar to what you've done in the previous rounds. After your last front post half double around the last popcorn, close here on the first stitch with the slip stitch and leave your yarn attached. Round 16, we're going to continue with the same color. So chain 3, which counts as your first double, and then a double in the next 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the next stitch, which should be a front post half double, work 2 doubles. 1, 2. This also starts the repeat, so 2 doubles in 1 stitch, and now we work a double on the next 13 stitches. So again, we're going to be increasing above every second popcorn. This is 2, we'll continue until we have 13, 3, this is 4, 13, there we go, 13 doubles, and that's the full repeat actually, so the 2 doubles there in 1 stitch, these 2, and then 13. So repeat this all the way around. So that means to start the next repeat, it's going to be 1, 2 doubles in this stitch, and then 13 again, and then 2 and 13, 2 and 13, all the way around, and you're going to finish with your last few stitches and then close here on this, around this first stitch with an invisible join. Round 17, new color yarn on my hook, and we're again going to start in the second of the 2 doubles. So you've got these 2 doubles here that are worked into a front post half double. Of those 2, we're going to grab the second one, and we're going to work a back post single crochet around that. So with the yarn on my hook, come from the back around the post, and that's the first, and then continue like this and work a back post single on every stitch. Will give you again that nice little edge, and when you're all the way around to the beginning, when you're here, close there with a slip stitch and leave your yarn attached. Round 18, we're going to continue with the same color yarn, but first just move up 1 stitch. So I'm just going to slip stitch into the next stitch. I'm going to start with a chain 3. This is our first double, and then a double in the next 2 stitches. So that's 1 and 2. Now this is just like so from now we're going to start the repeat unit. So from here, chain 2, 1, 2 chains, skipping a stitch, so skip 1 stitch, and then in the next stitch we're going to do 2 doubles, so 2 in 1 stitch, so 1 and 2, and then in the next stitch do 1 double. So you work 3 doubles there over 2 stitches. Then chain 2, skipping the next stitch, work 3 doubles. Skip this stitch and then we work 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. We're going to do this 2 more times. So chain 2, skip a stitch, and then work 3 doubles. 1, 2, 3. Then again chain 2, skip 1 stitch, and then work 3 doubles. 1, 2, and 3. And this here is the full repeat. So we now again, so in this we will repeat all the way around. So now you're again going to do a chain 2, then skip 1 stitch, and then in this stitch work 2 doubles. So 1, 2, and then in the next stitch work 1 double. And that's the start of the next repeat. If you look here at these groups of 3, you see you've got 3 that are worked in 2 stitches. So you've got this increase here, and then you've got 3 where they're just like 1 in every stitch, and that's the rhythm. So you're going to do so per 4 groups, every 4th one has this increase here. So now you're going to work 3 with just 1 in every stitch, and then you'll work 1 of these again, and every time you'll have chain 2s in between. So go all the way around, skipping all those stitches. When you get here to the end, you're going to do your last double here, a chain 2, and then close on top of the chain 3 with a slip stitch. And then you can fasten off, and in the next round we'll be doing popcorns. Round 19, very similar actually to this round of popcorns we did right at the beginning. I'm going to start with a standing popcorn in any of the missed stitches from round 17. So any one of those, going to start there with a standing popcorn, and as always stay clear of those chain spaces. So I'm going to insert my hook there, I've already done the yarn over for the standing stitch, then skipping that chain space, work the first double. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open up the loop and come to the first stitch. Pick up the loop again and pull through. Chain 1. Sorry, I'm totally out of view. Chain 1 to complete the popcorn. Then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and come to the next skipped stitch and work a popcorn in there. That's 1, 2, and this here's 3, 4, 5, and then again open up the stitch, come to the next popcorn, there we go, and chain 1, and repeat this all the way around. So now again chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then of course here in the skip stitch the next popcorn. All the way around, quite a few popcorns to make, 32 of them, and then after your last chain close here on the first popcorn and then you can fasten off. Around 20 we're at, I believe. I have a new color yarn on my hook, but it's the same color as here, the color behind the popcorns, because we're going to be extending the background. Start in any group of 3 doubles, doesn't matter where you start because you're going to do the same on all of them, and then just pull that a little bit forward that the chains really fall to the back because you want to stay away from the chains. Then we're going to start with the standing half double in the first stitch. So yarn over, hold on to that, and then come into the first stitch, and there we go, and work a half double. In the next stitch 2 half doubles, 1 and 2, and in the third stitch 1 half double. Then around the popcorn, a front post half double. So yarn over, and that basically just means scooping up the popcorn and then working the half double. And this repeats all the way around. So come to the next group of 3 and work 1 half double, 2 on the next stitch, so that's 1, 2, and then 1 here on the last stitch, and then the popcorn gets again a front post half double. That's the rhythm. Continue this all the way around, and when you get to the first stitch, close with the slip stitch and leave your yarn attached. Round 21, we're going to continue with the same color, and this is a nice relaxed round, just a double crochet on every stitch. So chain 1, chain 3, that's your first double, and then a double on every stitch, and nice and smoothly just go all the way around. Mandala's almost finished, so continue a double on every stitch, and when you're all the way around, close on your first stitch with an invisible join. Round 22, new color yarn on my hook, and we're going to start at any stitch, doesn't matter where. And we're going to start with a back post single crochet, and the first one is then of course a standing one. So from the back around the post standing back post single, and then continue and work a back post single on every stitch, and continue this all the way around. So in that sense, this is a very steady round, just one on every stitch. And when you get to the first stitch, close with a slip stitch. Before we start with round 23, what's important at this point is that your mandala is smaller than the ring you're making it into. So it should be at this point about 22 centimeters, something like that, about 8.5 inches, before you put it into the 25 centimeter ring. So you can see I've got a bit of a gap between the mandala and the ring, and that's correct because you want to stretch this into the mandala, into the ring. So that's important. And what's also important before continuing, just work away all your yarn tails to the back, so that's nice and neat before continuing into the ring, because again that is just easier to work it away now while it's still soft and flexible, because once it's in the ring it's you know, it's a bit stiffer, and then it's hard to work those tails away. So I'm now going to zoom in and show you how we join the mandala to the ring. I'm going to continue with the same color with a chain one. This chain one does not count as a stitch. We're now going to join the mandala to the ring by working a single crochet 2 together over the current stitch, over the next stitch, and the ring. Let me show you. So into the stitch where you're currently in, so this is this way where you have the slip stitch already, insert your hook into that stitch, and underneath the ring, and grab a yarn and bring it forward, so drawing up a loop. Now come to the next stitch, insert your hook, go underneath the ring, and again grab the yarn and bring it forward. So you've now got 3 loops on your hook. Take them all off in one go. And this we're going to repeat all the way around. So insert your hook into the current stitch. So this is the stitch where you picked up that second loop. So into that stitch, underneath, and pick up a loop. Come to the next stitch, pick up a loop, and take them all off. The current stitch and the next stitch, and take off all loops. And again the current stitch and the next stitch. And this really covers the ring well. You can already see I've got a few stitches here on the ring. So this is a bit of a time consuming round, but continue work all your stitches. When you get it to the end, just close with an invisible join on the first stitch. So and then you're done. Then you've connected the entire mandala to the ring. When you've completed the maxi mandala, this is what your work looks like. Now to make the mini mandala, the smaller one, you repeat the pattern of the maxi version. It's rounds 1 to 12, exactly the same. So just a different color placement. The color placement is in the written pattern. So rounds 1 to 12, exactly the same. And then join it to the smaller ring, so the 15 centimeter ring or the 6-inch ring. Join it with the same stitches as in round 23 of the maxi version. So rounds 1 to 12 will make you the center, and then round 23 to actually join it to the ring. But it's exactly the same pattern, just a different color placement. So that completes the whole set, so the maxi and the mini version of the Bubbling Brook mandala. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you for a new project.